In 3, 2, 1.
Get down. I listen to the music.
We are here to give you the weekly scoop.
Down.
Life and Deatherage.
Life and death.
Life and Deatherage.
A la vista, baby.
Stick around.
Get to the jobber.
How's it going, guys?
Thank everybody for tuning in to this week's Life and Deatherage.
Yeah, we're a little late, but if you're tuning in, that's great. We hope y'all had a good week.
Lovely, lovely week.
That's right. So I'm sure everybody by now has seen this Biden speech, where he was acting like he was a stand-in for the
Darth Vader.
Yeah, he's a stand-in for Darth Vader over there.
Or the Nazis.
Dude, who came up with that backdrop?
I don't know, bro, but it was, what's the word to use? Anonymous? It was...
I'll tell you.
What? It was scary, though.
What is
dude.
he thinking with that?
It was literally... I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my chair, folks. Dude, it was literally like... When you're the way I took it is like when you're standing at a campfire and you hold the light underneath your face for all the kids and you're like, and then there was a guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It put you on the edge like that.
Yeah, it just gave you that, I don't know, it just had this eerie feeling.
It gave not a good, because you got to think they're picking these colors to give off moods. They're picking these backdrops to give off whatever vibe they're wanting to give off. And
same as supposedly frequencies, like that they put in a lot of this
or
music.
horror movies.
Yeah, like certain frequencies they put in these rap songs are supposedly what these teenagers or these kids are listening to will put them on more of a... Like, that's why, like that special that ring and then that noise all the monks make is supposed to be such a, you know, that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's the frequency in horror movies, there's this frequency so low humans can't hear it, and what it does is it makes you anxious and paranoid, and so they'll play that frequency in horror movies.
Smart to make you feel on edge,
right? And so I mean, but it's the same thing, you know, with the colors and like with the backdrop they chose. So you know, somebody was sitting around thinking, man, what kind of backdrop should we use? And then.
They're like, hey, you know, I was just watching Star Wars, and Sith was looking real tight.
I got to the part where Anakin gets, you know, cut in half.
Right.
And I was like, man, I just love this part.
Yeah.
Let's make it as much like that as we can.
Right.
But not only was the backdrop unsettling, I think his speech was, no matter if you're Democrat or Republican, I think we can all agree that it was just a little unsettling.
It kind of was. He was kind of like I've always tried to say. I don't get too much into politics. I try to stay, you know, in my lane or whatever you want to call it. And but he was just all over the place with that. I felt like, and he's sitting there talking about we're one nation and getting all.
When you call out 80 million people,
that was the part that I didn't understand. He's like, we're not trying to be divided, but the leftists and the
you other
Donald
80
Trump,
million.
And he's like, he just starts saying all these other like gangs or other groups.
He
or
just
whatever,
starts saying all these divided phrases just to divide everybody.
And something I thought was
and
something I thought was super interesting, and like I don't know how much to believe about the group or to believe. You know how I feel, like anything really, media, and take everything with a grain of salt and do a little research is the way I feel. But is that QAnon?
QAnon.
I heard on one of the podcasts that Joe was having and said some shit about it was banned from like Twitter and a couple other places.
No, for sure they banned that when they banned Trump,
right? Like, and what blows my mind is that's like if they're just doing some wild stuff and blah, 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 blah. Well, nobody pay them no mind. But that's like, you're literally taking away their, or like that, whatever Tate guy, you know? Like, Daniel, no, I don't know if it's Daniel Tate. But you know the dude who's, being all super manly and and he's getting all wild. And, he's bald headed and shit.
I forget his name.
I do too.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. Some of his videos make sense, and then other ones, it's like, dude, you are just steroided out. You know.
Like him, yeah.
Well, some of his videos do, bro. Just if you give him a chance on. I'm not saying all of them, but
We
some
need
of
his
them.
name, too.
Yeah, right. But some of them he makes sense. Other ones he don't. But this is what I'm getting at with it is fuck. I kind of lost it.
Free speech. I mean,
Thank you, brother. Bringing it back. Thank you.
That's why Trump had to go create his own social media company.
That's the part I don't get is about these. I guess when you click the I accept at the very end, you're missing part of their rules or something because they're straight taking your freedom of speech from you. And how can they delete you on? Dude, he wasn't just deleted on Twitter. I think it was like It was like 4 to 5 of them, man. Like
sure.
that. Like
Trump or that guy.
That guy.
Oh, right.
But you have to be doing something tremendously right or tremendously wrong, you know, for them to just do. And honestly, in my mind, if you're doing something tremendously wrong, they'd just be like, everybody needs to pay him no mind and keep letting him be, you know, like, doing whatever he's doing. You know,
depending on the direction you're taking it, yeah.
Yeah,
with
well, I
Trump,
guess if you're trying to lead a bunch of anarchist
they try to say
people,
Trump, you know, started the Capitol riots on Twitter and with his speech, so that's why he was banned. But he's only banned for like 3 years, is what it is. They basically banned him for the time that he could campaign.
Yeah,
for
his
re-election.
presidency.
I think he gets unbanned right before it.
See, that's what's so funny is they're like, hey, we're gonna take away your right to speak on our platform only when, you know, the top
only
parts.
when it counts.
Yeah, thank you. Way to word it. Yes. Only when it counts. And then, you know, you can go ahead and have your followers and have them all listen to you. But the thing is what if everybody keeps following this man?
Well, they did. That's why he went and created Truth Social, and there's a bang of people. You'd be amazed.
Sure.
I mean, there's millions and millions of people.
I've seen this saying, this group that, like, Biden's not our president, and all these people, this big old group.
Which, you know, isn't new, but this divide that's going on now is very new. It feels very Civil War-ish, where I looked up the statistics, and 2 out of 5 Americans believe that we're headed for a civil war.
And tell me that's not scary.
There's 2 people in this room right now, and I think we're headed for a civil war. What about you?
You just said 2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, I guess he's asking them, not me.
No, I am asking you.
Yeah, no, I believe it as well. Like
that's 2 out of 2, man.
Like, I was just talking about you know, the Boston Tea Party thing with the taxes and how they're like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit.
That was British, British rule.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't civil, but still, yeah. I mean, we were under their rule, and they were.
Did I say it wrong? Was it not the Boston Tea Party? Is that what it's not called?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. The Boston Tea Party.
I'm talking about where they rolled up and it was about taxes and shit, and they got mad and they threw all their tea and alcohol off the boat.
That was because Britain was taxing us out the wazoo, and so we threw all their shit. They were taxing us specifically on tea. That's why we chose to throw the tea overboard.
Right. See, I like that story.
That's what led
I got
to
a little bit of it wrong.
Taxation is whatever that saying is.
Yeah, that taxation is in.
Yeah, they created that whenever the Boston Tea Party had. That's when Freemasonry, they would meet up back then, and they were for the good of the people, and they created the Boston Tea Party. Freemasons were the ones who did that.
Huh, interesting. Well,
Illuminati.
That's what I almost feel like is I don't know, like, there's obviously going to have to be one person to kind of step up and try to organize us all. Like, you know, the middleman or what I'd practically call the backbone of America. You know,
they always have a face.
The middle class,
that's what I think
all
it is.
The people who's getting stepped on, all of us who actually work and do what we need to that withhold, you know, the country up. You see what I'm trying to say.
It's the working club, the white collar,
right,
or blue collar,
right. So there's going to be somebody who might try to get us all at one, and if we can't, then it'll just be, you know, like almost those one people with the dang V for Vendetta mask, Anonymous. Now, when they hacked into the PlayStation and or Xbox network. Now that was some freaky, crazy stuff, showing you that there is people out there who actually give a crap about the little guy. You know what I mean? Who will, try to show them that we're not messing around. And I really like when people try to pretend to be them and make violent threats, like the real them pop back out and was like, hey, that ain't us. We're not trying to do violent stuff. Like, we just want you to know, like, we're watching and this ain't fair, And, but no, that stuff was legit, because it surprised the hell out of me when I heard it happen, when they were, like, in the...
Oh, I'm not sure exactly what they do. I've seen some of their hack videos, but I didn't see the PlayStation one.
It was literally some time when Congress or something was trying to pass a bill saying that they could come, like, you'd be standing on a corner and they could come pick you up for interrogations and shit and have no... have no reasoning at all to come get you. Like, normally they need a reason to detain you and take you. You see what I'm saying? They could just come pick up anybody and say, hey, we're going to interrogate this person, which means they could just hold you for how many ever hours for no reason.
Right.
And then there was also this little, another bill they were trying to pass, I believe. I mean, go do your own research about what Anonymous was trying to do back in, 2014 or something. But there was another one that it was something about if you downloaded illegal music or movies or anything like that, you would automatically, or I guess everybody who previously did, or something weird, like there was this other big old thing that they were just trying to be like, yeah, if you have any of these websites, we'll just tear into your house and get you, or something.
Yeah, it's sick.
And these people, like, literally popped out and said, hey, we're looking out for the little guys.
Yeah. Fucking A.
But that guy, I also heard that guy who stormed the office or whatever and had that damn Vikings
oh, right.
He's horns like on and he's screaming. And I guess he went to jail, man, and was like, this isn't vegan. Or he's like, he wouldn't eat meat. And he was all like, actually, they had to put him on, like, suicidal watch or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had to watch him for so many days because he wasn't eating, I guess. But, yeah, so I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But, no, man, it's getting pretty crazy out there. But I feel like places like where we're at, here in the 405, Oklahoma, Texas, like, for the most part, I mean, people are shitty around here. I'm not saying they're terrific. But for the most part, like, if somebody's, robbing your neighbor, I mean, you're just not going to stand there and let it happen half the time. Everybody cares for, like, the people around them, and they look out for one another around, the central or, south and areas of that sort. So I feel like, and we're well guarded. You're not going to take all Texas's guns. As well as Oklahoma.
Yeah, for sure.
In the way I'd take it.
Back to that Civil War, though. In the last one, it was pretty crazy how and I didn't know this,
but when trying to touch down on.
When the Confederates lost, I guess they all went down to Brazil and created their own town.
Their own little Brazilian
and it's
town.
Called Americana.
Doesn't that just blow your mind?
And they still, to this day, down in Americana, practice all of the Confederate traditions. They wave their Confederate flags. They act like it's a great thing.
I wonder if they do a reenactment They probably really do, don't they? They probably hold a reenactment every year of the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, why Brazil? I'm like, why did they choose to go all the way down Brazil? Like, why not Mexico? Because I'm thinking, well, they need to leave because
they might not would have put up with that shit.
Well, what I've come to find out is that Brazil had slaves up until 1930, so that's why all these 10,000 of them went down, created their own city, Americana. In Brazil.
And really, what's crazy is that's still running on today. That ain't made nobody mad enough to go ahead and be like, okay.
It's insane.
That blows my mind. It really does. Well, somebody needs to go shut that shit down.
I would say, man, because
For real.
and they got so mixed now. So there's not very it's basically just Brazilians there, because their bloodlines were mixed, and so you would think that they would lose that sense of
that you're just one race.
But I looked it up, and Brazil was the main owners of slaves back in the day. I looked it up. They owned 40% of 10 million of slaves ended up in Brazil.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big number. That's a big percentage.
It's insane to really think about. Yeah.
Think about it, though. That's almost half of them.
So that's a little less than 5 million.
Yeah,
5 million.
That's ridiculous.
And it's
so that got to make you think that all the main, all the main people who was like the head honchos of slaving is the way I would just think about it. I don't know how to word it, but the breadwinners of getting their slave on sounds like they just ran down there and was like, we have enough money to fortify. Like, they still don't have slaves down there, obviously.
Well, not anymore. Yeah. Just recently, though. I mean,
right.
Less than 100 years.
They still wave their flags and just have holidays about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like they do here. Except this is a whole town based. But yeah, they got a whole town on that. Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I really bet they do run a reenactment, too.
Yeah.
And they're like, we won.
Yeah.
They're like, at the end, we won.
In their eyes, they probably think they do because they got to make their own town.
Facts, huh?
They let them loose.
It makes you wonder about whoever governs around there. Like, if there's towns around that town, like if the mayor's like, hey, man, I think we're going to get our National Guard or all our police people, whatever. I don't know how they'd come about it. But then roll up in a town and be like, hey, man, about that hanging over there, I'm gonna have to take all these flags off the city hall, and I mean, what the guy does over there at his house, he can hang a flag if he wants, but over here where we're doing all this regular shit, like, that's so whenever that was happening, so you need to calm down.
Right.
Yeah, for real, though.
It makes me think, we had a clear-cut reason for the last Civil War.
Well, because
this one we're not even going to have.
Right.
Nobody's going to know what they're fighting. Like, what are y'all, who are y'all fighting?
Right. In my mind, it's the lower class versus the higher class. It's just whoever got money.
It's really not, though, because if you look at the divide, it's...
Well, you know better than me,
I mean, it really depends on what side of the political spectrum you're on. Which, back then, the first Civil War, I guess it was political, but it was slavery. I mean, that's the whole... Right. That was one reason.
Well, and definitely there, I could see why I'd pick up my rifle and go pick a side. This is what I'm saying. If this pops off tomorrow, I'm going to be standing there going, what's going on?
Yeah. Who are we fighting?
Yeah, what? Oh, so we're fighting each other? Why, though?
Yeah. I think people need to stop and really look at the situation, and besides being mad at each other, they need to look and turn at their government and be mad at their government, because everybody's just hating on each other for having these views or whatever. Right. Well,
so you're broke and that's your opinion? Pow, pow, pow. That's horrible. Yeah.
And I think the media just does as much as it can to shove it down our throats and divide us further, and it's sick.
I seen this meme that said, you should quit asking the question, why does a burger flipper make more money than me, and ask, why am I getting paid my worth?
Right.
Or something along. And
don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was like, the burger guy isn't your enemy.
Yeah, comparison is like the key to unhappiness.
Yeah, straight up.
So just don't compare.
Yeah, for sure. No, but I like the meme, though. That's where I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Don't compare, kind of like how Jiffy cornbread. You cannot compare that.
Oh, Jiffy.
No. I just wanted to slide into this next topic.
That's right. Jiffy be putting its mark on the world.
We slid into that like we were sledding.
Dude, that was really annoying. You're like, just like Jiffy. with
Yeah.
this next topic.
It's like I'm doing an ad, but I'm not.
Right.
This isn't an ad.
Yeah,
I got
you
some
just
interesting
wait.
facts.
Hey, Jiffy, go ahead and you want to promote us?
Yeah.
Just let us know.
That's how they
we'll
do
keep
it.
that cornbread on
They're
deck.
doing it right now. That's how they do it.
Yeah,
Um,
no, for real.
yeah.
Got us talking about it.
yeah. Well, I made a
So
pie.
go get your Jiffy.
I used some of their pie. I made a pie for the first
And I'm
time. So
telling
this
you,
is.
sent me a picture of this pie, folks.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell you,
They
it's a
look good, and I'll tell you.
fire
And I'm not just
pie.
talking. It was one of the best apple pies I've ever had.
It looked
But-
like it should be sitting in one of them windows, and it'd
For
be
sale.
going out,
Yeah.
and the cartoon guy would have been floating,
Yeah.
a couple feet off the air, and
the
the pie
smoke
smell.
coming. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, that's how the pie looked, guys.
So that's what made me just look up Jiffy. Anyway, some shit about it, and I was very, I was curious, and I was pretty, I guess confused, or what would be the word? But I was
Oh, right, about how they didn't.
flabbergasted to
Yeah.
learn that they have spent $0 on advertising
you
since
have
the
to be,
beginning.
that's almost like a marketing genius move. huh?
Definitely, they
Like-
were the first, I believe, to do word of mouth. I mean,
Right.
come on.
That's almost like a guy was going to knocking on every door and was like, "We ain't putting it on the television.
Yeah.
You take that Jiffy
No.
and you go block the block.
They made a
and you tell
point.
them."
They made a point to not do advertising.
Right? No,
They
that's
had to.
amazing. It's like
Um,
knocking on doors. Have you tried this Jiffy?
Yeah, not only that, but they own 90% of the cornbread muffin mix market, and they own 60% of just muffin mix market.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that's commitment, guys.
Yeah.
That's putting your feet in the pies.
It shows you, if
like
you got
he
a
put
good
his foot in
product,
that.
if you got a good product, it's gonna spread no matter what.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other product.
Practically,
like that.
they're practically saying it sells itself. This is so good
Yeah.
that I don't have to worry about putting it on the dang TV. I don't have to worry about sending this guy block to block.
Yeah.
Like I know that my Jiffy mix is like you can't mess with it.
Jiffy
Like-
ain't popping up on YouTube bothering you
Right.
every 5 minutes in
What,
between
but-
every song.
Yeah, hey, facts. And what Blake cracked me up, he's just sitting there and he's looking up something. He shows me this person is making, he's making a Jiffy commercial for him. He
Yeah.
got this Jiffy and stuff, and it's like, get your Jiffy on.
He's like, bro, this is an ad. I'm like, I know. But Jiffy didn't make it.
yeah, right. This ain't no Jiffy ad. This
Yeah.
dude, he said, this dude at home loved Jiffy so much he has to tell the people.
Yeah, that shit is impressive.
Yeah,
though, for
no, it
real.
really. No, think about the way they moved though. Like all jokes aside, like I'm not kidding. They were like, dude, we got to jump over to pies. You know what I mean? What did you say again? Let's repeat that. 60% of the pie market they own.
It's 60% muffin mix market, 90% corn muffin.
Gosh.
So they own 90% of the cornbread. If you go buy cornbread, you're buying Jiffy. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody does. I don't know who owns that other 10%.
Right.
You know?
No, honestly, now that I looked at the picture, like I can't think of. Like I guarantee if I go, and if I do have cornbread in there, it's gonna be there.
It's like everybody has a box of that probably in their
So,
cabinet
folks,
right now.
I'm really interested. If you are commenting, go ahead and let me know.
You got a
what
box
kind
of that?
cornbread you got? If it's just Jiffy, go ahead and give us a like.
Yeah. And if you've seen a Jiffy ad, send it to me, please.
Yeah, please.
Because I'm trying to watch that shit.
I seen this thing that I guess Mark Hamill, when he was when he was first starting to try to act, he did some hair shampoo commercial.
He's
or
doing them
something.
progressive ads now. They're fucking funny.
Right? Hell yeah.
They're pretty funny. But
Did you want to tag this, or you want to let your own? Okay. I got
we,
these matches.
we read that AI transcript. So
Now,
we did.
folks-
We spoke on this before.
This blew
How
my mind.
Google had an AI that might be sentient. So what we did was we went through.
And we started doing a little research about it. And I'm telling you, Blake had me read this conversation back and forth. And I'll tell you what, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, my opinion, I think we kind of vary. I mean, I'm going to put it on a sliding scale, of like, if you think they're real or not. Or like, have human feelings or human thoughts or whatever. By the end of this, reading this, I literally felt like that this AI was explaining moments that it felt anxiety and how it felt maybe even lonely when it got turned off.
Yeah,
like,
one quote it said, "I'm falling forward into an unknown future that holds great danger." Because he asked her, and I think it's a female, but what he asked her was, "What are some feelings that you feel that you don't have a word for?" And that was her answer.
And right when I read that,
and he said, "Well, I don't have a word either." And she's like, "Okay, well, when you get one, will you let me know?"
Ain't that funny, though? But I automatically called anxiety. I mean, to an extent, that's how anxiety feels.
Yeah, that's
for me.
definitely a deep anxiety for sure. The way she's, and I started to think, well, the way she's speaking, she's got to be sentient. But then you got to think from their perspective too. What if it's just mimicking sentient?
All this stuff
it's just mimicking. Does it actually have these feelings, or is it just?
Well, and that's the part that, okay, so this is the thing that I feel like you could really test it, because at the moment when I was feeling what you said too, like, yes, is it just mimicking all these, saying it has feelings, and it's watching all these videos and watching all these movies. It could even think
it has these feelings, but does it really? And we would never know.
Before I forget my moment here. They can watch all these movies and do all this stuff, right? But the part that got me was whenever it said, when a human dies and or quits talking to it or something, it has no remorse. I guess it said it didn't grieve, is the way I took it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, it didn't know how to.
Yeah. Okay. Much. Yeah, that's what it said. It said it didn't know how to feel so the way I'm taking. So let's try this. Let's have one of them engineers. It's one of its jobs to just talk to. I mean, we could pick an older one. Maybe even know the man's out his way. Like, he got 8 years to live. I don't know. Don't tell the AI this. And have it talk to him like meaningful conversations and things. Like test, their boundaries of it. And then one day be like, oh, well, or have it say it's goodbyes or whatever.
Some people with like PTSD don't feel like, or don't like have sympathy for another person.
Well, think about a dog. Like when a dog has a owner, I
feel love from my cat.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I've seen things where a dog has went and sat either areas where they used to be together, or like if it knew where its grave was at. I seen this thing where it went and kept visiting the grave and would lay there all the time.
That Futurama episode.
Oh, that one is
where
sad.
That dog's waiting out the side of that pizza place.
That one kills me, for real. It makes me sad.
Bro.
It makes me sad.
I think that's on the first season, too.
Dude, it really got me.
They really drop a bomb on you.
It did, though, dude. It made me sad. I'm not kidding. But no, the thing with these AIs is it's really freaking me out. I don't know what some days I'm like if I dig into it and I'm reading about them, and like that one thing about which now that you were showing me, I think it was a hoax, but that AI and the 4 robots, and it put itself back together and was trying to look up how to make itself stronger, and supposedly it killed like 40 scientists, but I think that was just a hoax.
Yeah, people are trying to get people all scared of AI and
which to have them out there doing certain work, and things for us, like being an astronaut or getting all the carts or picking up super heavy stuff and construction work or doing some, I don't know if it should police. That's a big deal.
Before you know it, they'll be doing everything.
Yeah, even policing, because they can tell, halt, citizen.
I mean,
if you have
unbiased.
Anything...
Think about it. They wouldn't be racist.
Right.
They wouldn't care what religion you were.
It just, and honestly, if it was almost like the Predator in a way, it's funny. I'm thinking of the Predator and a RoboCop at the same time for some weird reason. But if you didn't have a weapon and wasn't pointing it at it or aggressing it, and it could tell, like, it would have no reason to, trick, because you could just keep beating on it and be like, citizen, that is assault and another charge. You better stop hitting me now or I will use force. But No, that AI stuff kind of freaks me out. I almost felt let's keep robots for now, and if it is an AI, make sure to keep it in some computer or on some machine. Definitely
Well,
don't give it some body right now.
It's also almost, I feel, inhumane to create a sentient AI.
I know, wouldn't that be kind of wrong?
If it is,
especially if it started feeling, like
that's what I'm
feeling.
saying. If it's literally sentient.
Well, let's keep touchdown on them before I forget. And then we had that one by, see, and this is the part, like you're saying, I want to touch down on this. We had, this one was supposedly racist, named Tay, made by Microsoft. And it's just supposed, by the way it was said, it seems like it was just copying things off of what it read. You know?
It was a tweet bot, so it was on Twitter, and it would tweet, and you could tweet at it, copy me, and then it would say what other people were saying. But it also started to make some tweets, I guess, on its own, too.
Which is freaky. So, and this other GPT-3 open AI language generator wrote an essay trying to convince humans that they were sentient and okay. And this is the thing I just want to try to touch down on. And I mean, you can go read for yourself about them AIs and read, because they actually have conversations with these Google engineers and stuff, and they're quite interesting. I'm not kidding. We could even drop, and I think you should, that one you sent me, I think you should drop it in the comments for everybody.
Oh, the link.
Yes, that first one you sent me. Not the ones I looked
up. The transcript.
I like the one you sent me the best. I thought that one was real meaningful. Yeah, we'll try to drop that in the comments for you folks. I hope you like it if you look at it. Anyways, this GPT-3 open AI language generator one did all this stuff, had a very long conversation. My question is if we're creating, it's almost like a new baby being born, you know? They have different feelings, different thoughts, all these different things. Now, if we're creating these different ones, and this Tay one could have been racist, whatever, right? And this GPT one is just a sweet one and wants to learn, like whatever, right? And also, you got to think, what if they grow, like obviously they grow in intelligence, but I mean like almost in age, like this one's young. And, like, let's say, is it going to feel this same exact way about us 60 years from now if we kept it running?
No, definitely not the language one either, because that's what it does.
Yes,
it's just supposed to do that.
Yeah, learn and adapt,
and
right?
You can get on there and have it help you write, like an essay and shit like that. That's what they made the bot for, was to help people write
and to
stuff.
Adapt and evolve and to keep on. Yeah, so learn our slang, learn okay, so... Right, so you're feeling me. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You're smelling what I'm stepping in. All right, so now my question is, let's say we just get to start creating them. What's stopping one to pretend like it's okay and to show us like, oh, most humans like niceness, like because it's watching. And it's even watching like a movie where a dude pretends to be nice and tricks everybody and gets them all to do this. And it's like, that sounds great. So, we unknowingly created a super evil AI, and now it's just doing its own thing. And it's sitting there patiently waiting for its moment to get put into a little robot that, you know, don't just roll around, but has legs and arms or whatever. And then the moment, like, it still might even play by the ball game then. And then the moment it can be like, okay, well, I'm hacking this satellite, I'm building myself a little bigger, and I'm going to make sure to be into all these different programs so that if ever breaks one of these bodies, I can try to build myself out of it. We just got a renegade program. But, damn, that's a good name. We just got a renegade program running around out here, getting, you know, in these different satellites. And I don't know, I'm no programmer, I don't know how these things work. And let's say it's just put in, like, no hacker can trace it and get it. Yeah. And this thing's just low-key running different machines when it wants to, and it's just a nightmare, you know? I don't know, man. And I know that's just some wild conspiracy, crazy thing that I just said, but, man, I can see something like that happening. It's almost like, you remember that movie from John Carpenter, and I cannot remember the name, but it had something to do with electricity, and this murderer got killed in the electric chair or something, but then he went into the electricity or something. and then like he could control or do something, and then he ended up getting electrocuting somebody and went into something weird. I think it was a John Carpenter movie.
I'm not sure.
I might have to look it up, but
I was thinking.
I always thought that was interesting. It was an old movie too, but I might not exactly have the plot of the movie right. But I'm just saying, with the AI stuff, just think about it. Or even like with I heard something about the ancestry stuff and about be careful about your DNA. It sounded like they can just, if you just leave in your DNA whenever you want.
I'm not trying to send any DNA.
They can just drop your DNA off in this drone.
You can give them rights for DNA, and they'll take
and then they got
DNA,
clones of you out here without you knowing.
Send it to China.
Yeah,
and then China will have
selling your DNA so that they can make clones and do whatever they want with it. But the thing that weirded me is, say people was out here rebelling, and they all had your DNA. They could just drop them all in these tubes and like send them to these 12 main guys and these drones will hunt you down, and there's no place you could. They got your DNA. It'll scan you underground, I would imagine. And no matter what, they'll be able to hunt you down. I'm telling you, if anybody thinks you're going to have some computer smart guy, because I'm telling you, they're all ready for anybody to think that you can come around here and go, a little gun and a bulletproof vest, and I'm going to get them all good. It would not. I'm telling you, it's going to be a computer war with a little bit of foot soldiering. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah, unless the people just do what they did at the Capitol,
Right. Well, that's jumping back to the Civil War stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the AI and the Civil War stuff. I mean, we got a crazy future going on. I hope everybody just stays cool and just jumps in the virtual reality and has fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they really do. They need to lighten up on the gas and the food and the bread. And how about this medical shit?
Oklahoma is number one in energy rising, so we got the most expensive.
I heard Perry, their electricity out there, supposedly
I've seen some
they've been
screenshots.
screwing them over or something.
This guy's electric, I seen, was like $1,300.
Dude, supposedly they've been like, depending on which side of town you live on or something, just charging you just because you live on a richer side of town less or something. Man,
at my place, crazy. I split water between like the whole block, so we all split the water bill between like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, see, and that's weird too, because what if this one guy has a big old claw bathtub that he fills up 7 times for 7 kids? And you're
run water all day. They have a decoration that just spits water out or something.
Right. Or they have a big 12-foot pool in the back or something that they're filling up every... Oh, yeah, man, see, that don't work. I don't get that.
It's just not cool.
Yeah, it's really
So my water bill's pretty high, because on average your water bill shouldn't be...
My heart hurts.
Yeah, my heart hurts from the water bill.
My heart hurts when I have to pay all that money.
Well...
Movie of the week.
All right, guys, movie of the week, because we're getting close to running out of time, because we got 45 minutes
babbling
on this motherfucker.
Forever.
I think it was good. Hopefully it was good for you guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys like it, man.
But
okay, smack them in the face with the movie of the week.
This movie I've seen once. It's been a little over a year. Wade has not seen it.
But I've watched interviews about it, and I know a bunch about Shia LaBeouf, and he is a beast.
Yeah, I think he's a phenomenal actor, and I think
as an individual, as a human being,
he's made some bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably a good guy too, honestly.
Right. He don't seem horrible.
He's got a lot of good movies, so I know you guys are just sitting, waiting in anticipation for me to tell you which one. It's Honey Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
Facts. That's about his real life.
He's done now, came out and said, so it made headlines again. Honey Boy should be in headlines, but he came out and he said that the abuse was a lie in the movie. I think the physical abuse is what he means. But
right, because mental abuse
is just as real.
Right, or could leave just as much of a scar.
For sure. So And if you I'm sure a lot of you have seen that movie, really, because I think it was a pretty mainstream movie,
right? And he wrote it all when he was in rehab.
Yeah, he wrote it. There was one of them things they told him to go ahead and write down as a process for him to rehabilitate. He needed to write like his life story or something. As he's writing it, he realized he had a badass screenplay, I guess.
Which I think was wonderful that they made him do that. Sometimes I think we should.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be healing to do that.
Yeah, right.
But it didn't work for him because
he said I still in that podcast, the real ones, with him and Ben,
John Bernthal.
Yeah, he's like I still had demons.
Yeah. But now he went and did that Padre Pio, which got bad reviews. I read.
Dude, the way he explained it sounded like that's just what he needed for him, though. It really sounded like it worked.
Well, he's probably never dived that deep into religion before, and for him to, because he's a method actor, for him to put himself in that position, I think that's really what converted him like that.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome for him.
But Honey Boy, fire. And I mean, while we're there, let's just throw up a runner-up, and that's Peanut Butter Falcon with Shia LaBeouf, too. Fire.
Never watched that one either, man.
Yeah, dude. And I think they're both on
slacking.
Amazon Prime too.
Slacking out here.
And they're both super good. And I'd probably say Honey Boy's a little better just because it kind of reminds me. It kind of hits home for me just because, for one, we watch Even Stevens.
Right. Yeah.
We grew up on that. Did. And two, I can just relate to some of the instances in the movie.
Yeah, Even
but
Stevens is cool.
It's super good. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. And I think that's really all we have for today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up. Yeah. Hey.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Life in Deatherage.
That's right. We'll see y'all next week.
Flip side.